wanted to talk about a very important map that I went to the State Library of New South Wales a few weeks ago to have a very close look at because I couldn't find a high resolution picture on online. So this was the map I was trying to get a high resolution understanding of. As we zoom in, everything blurs out. I can't read these things well enough. And I tried every way I could to get a high resolution picture. This is important to me because it has annotations that I think is important, and it has faint lines. Now, as you can see here, just on this one, this is color, and it has these grid watermarks behind it, which is probably not. It's probably a printing thing or something. But okay, so I went specifically to get to the library, and I managed to find a close-up, and it's here. And we're going to go through a bit more detail. This is black and white, so you lose a bit of color, but I took several photos of close-ups. And this one was apparently done in 1799, but with its dates down here, if you can zoom in enough of it. And sorry, let me just do that. Okay. Okay, so we have a year here of 1799, but it's 1815 with the additions, whatever those additions are. The other map that I was just showed you just previously is also supposed to be done in 1799 with additions in 1815, but it has the allotments that's issued by the governor or at the time, and you can zoom in onto this, and it is quite clear to see, and it is a high res image. Okay, these are the allotments. You've got Parramatta, you've got Sydney, just John Palmer. That's interesting. You have Toongabbie or Tongabby, or however it's pronounced. Don't know what the ponds is. Field of Mars, Eastern Boundary, Field of Concord, Petersham. That's interesting. Prospect Hill, Hunters Hill, Liberty Plains. You don't have Hawkesbury River. That'll come. I'll talk about it in a sec. Here you can see Parramatta, the allotments. You can see the markings here. You see nothing along the Hawkesbury River on this map. This is important to note. You have, these are definitely squares. If you go to the Petersham site, you have a few sites around here. And you have Sydney Farm and so on. All right, so we know what the official allotments are, but we don't have important place names like Cabramatta. And this map is supposed to be published in 1799 with annotations in 1815, according to them. But if we go to this other obscure map that I took photos of, and I'll zoom out to get a rough idea. Hopefully, what you will see once I go through the actual close-ups, I took several photos of this, is that you'll have a lot more detail of roads and the size and the scale of the actual area. So I would say that this is 1799. This is the correct surveying, and the additions and allotments was probably done in 1815, but this is how it was in 1799 is my guess. And this is their survey plans. There's a lot of narrative on it. There's a lot of nice wording about the far out country, saying how beautiful it was. I think I've got a close up of these words here. And this is of the Western Plains. So let's go through the individual images that I managed to pick up. Okay, so this is around Picton. This is cow pasture plains. This is the place. This is Appin here, and this is where they found about 500 to 2,000 head of cattle mysteriously, which apparently came from only 5 heads of cattle that escaped from a ship in Sydney Cove, because the sailor on duty got drunk. That's what they say, and somehow these cows made it across to here, and you can see the lines here. That clearly shows that the survey annotated a property boundary of some description. This is Richmond, and as you can see, here's black dots. That usually indicates, a hard settlement. Maybe that you've got common grant, and you got statements of grants and stuff. This could be some 1815 annotations post reset, post the Rum riots and that kind of thing, which is basically a civil war. Right? The Rum riots would have been just a smokescreen for an invasion. That's around 1810. So here's some interesting smoking guns here. I used to live around Toongabbie, and I remember the old Windsor Road and the new Windsor Road. And the old Windsor Road was old and the new was new, and this was in 1979 or something. Well, look at this. You have an old road in 1799 or 1815, however you want to, even 1815. How's any road old, right? It's obviously very old, and that they obviously were newcomers. This is the Hawkesbury River, and you've got lots and lots of squares marked off. There's another one, squares marked off. This is just first bend, second bend, right? This indicates allotments, but this is not marked off under the original map where you had people owning, people having official allotments, right? So they're not on the official allotments list. Okay, so someone owned them. This is Bankstown. Bankstown today is east of Liverpool. It is not Liverpool. There's Liverpool on the river. There's Bankstown here, right? So that's a big change, and it'd be important to look up the dates of when these places started. Castle Hill. There obviously is, according to the history, there was a castle that was basically a large manor that had had some castle design to it, but that might not be true. I have no idea. So, but there it is. That's obviously where the Castle Hill was, and there was a castle there. Okay, so who knows? Sydney Farms. This is what I'm going to do is a video on watercolors of Sydney Cove, and to show that all the watercolor pictures around the 1790s to 1800 was all done from an artist sitting exterior to Sydney Farm. They were never taken by someone sitting in there doing watercolors. They're always sitting over here or over here on a boat doing the watercolor. And there's a lot of inconsistencies with them. So it's another video. Here's Pyramid and Flagstaff. Now, Pyramid there's always been a pyramid here. It's not a shell pyramid, not one of those shell mounds. Like I know they used shell mounds before. So that's and we're back now to the close-up. So what this well, it's probably worth looking at this close-up a bit more. Look at the size of Petersham. Look at the size of this place called Liberty Plains, which no longer exists in that name. There's obviously a line marked out here of something. I mean, basically to me, this looks like that this is pre-British activity. There's lots and lots of washed out roads and lines here. You have Cabramatta here. What's Cabramatta doing out here? And today, Cabramatta's over here. Cabramatta is Old Portuguese, Pidgin Portuguese, Cabra Matter. Look up in Wikipedia. There was an abattoir farm somewhere in Cabramatta, and there's obscurity around the origin of that. I'd say that it's just a goat abattoir. Okay. Toongabbie, here it is. To me, it means Gabby Town or Black Town. There is no word for Black Town. Black Town doesn't exist yet, but Toongabbie exists. You'll probably find that Toongabbie might mean Black Town, like Toon Town Gabby. I think could mean black. I'm not. It's like a derogatory. I'm not sure. Okay. So that's it. To me, this is a bit nuanced, and I'm being a bit picky, but I'm being forensic, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to demonstrate that when you analyze it, the logic, and say, well, is this possible? Roads. Look at it. There's roads. Look at how deeply entrenched Parramatta Road is here, and the road stemming out here. Right? Where's the allotments to the? And there's faint lines. Where's the allotments? How did they work out that it was all that? Or that? I mean, what is this? I mean, so where do these roads go, and why are they so thick, and why is there an old Windsor Road, and why is there all these land parcels that are just no longer recognised when you go to the survey map, the official map, where you have all the names of the initial allotments and the districts, right? So to me, this demonstrates that they did the survey around the transition time, probably pretending to be friendly and all that stuff, and they were trying to gather up some of the existing lands or get an understanding for them, and then eventually infiltrate and take over, and then reset themselves. So I say that this Sydney area would have been around for a long time as Port Jackson or Gadigal or something, but it would have gone through a recession, I suspect, from the Anglo-Dutch Wars and the fall of the Portuguese. That would have lowered trade in all these areas, and they would have probably simplified their life, and it would have probably gone into a backwater. And then during the reuptake and things starting to pick up, I'd say that if business was starting to take off and the British wanted to get in before it really took too far, they probably consumed some of the existing new settlers, claiming they were convicts or killing them off, and then taking their lands, and that's and of course the indigenous people who would have already as well. So that's a complicated story in itself. So that's it. Thanks very much.